do anything. So Barry Stoffberg was born and raised in the historic city of Cape Town, South Africa. He's the youngest of four brothers. He's a self-taught pianist who began playing piano at age 7 and joined his first band at age 14. With each new band Barry played for, his keyboard skills improved and his reputation soon became that of an in-demand keyboard player. As a result, from age 15 to 19, Barry performed with many of Cape Town's top local Christian bands, such as Christian Explainers, Royal Family, New Birth, Real, Solid Foundation, and The Choice. At 18 years old, Barry completed his first year of jazz studies at a grant-funded music college for disadvantaged youth in his hometown. He left during his second year of college to pursue a career in the music industry. He landed his first job as a pro audio and keyboard consultant for the largest pro musical equipment retailer, Paul Bothman, in Cape Town. It was here that Barry learned arranging and music production technology. At 19 years old, Barry co-wrote and arranged his first inspirational song entitled My Hope Remains in You. Barry had his band perform the song at South Africa's national talent competition, namely the Shell Road to Fame. The band made it to the finals and flew to Johannesburg to perform the song live on national TV. The band won third place. Okay, so that's just a snippet of the late Barry Stoffberg's bio. So I'm going to play a track by Barry on his album Journey that he released, I think, in 2020. So there's a track here called Can't See You. So after this, I'll play you a few voice notes from prominent musicians that knew him.
Just letting you know that I share your sincere condolences with the Stoffberg family in Miami. Well, they were in Miami when I last saw them, but wherever they are, I'm sharing my sincere condolences, and I want to say that Barry was the most amazing keyboard player I have ever played with. Such a pity that we don't have Barry in our band, and I just want you to know that Barry was one of the most amazing keyboard players. He spent 2 weeks at my house in Miami when we were there, and he basically recorded 14 songs in the 2 weeks that he was at my place. And I just want to say that, wow, what a keyboard player, and we are going to miss him tremendously. Barry, I've watched how Timmy has grown in your environment. I want you to know that Timmy is going to take it to the next level with worship leading and with preaching. I give my sincere condolences to Karen Stoffberg, to Timmy Stoffberg, and to Adele Stoffberg. They were really fantastic people, and I look forward to hearing them. Thank you.
Hi, this is Sammy Weber here, and also a friend of Barry. We were friends before he left South Africa to have his life in the States. very happy life here, I know, with his wife and his children. And I am so sorry and so shocked to hear of his passing. And I know that it wasn't supposed to be a shock, because there was the illness that was quite long-standing, over a year or 2 or 3, I think. I don't remember how long. But Barry was a very, very special friend before he left South Africa. He worked at Paul Botner for a while, and we all sort of knew him because he was one of the first guys that I remember that used to make backtracks, and his backtracks were awesome. And he also had some teachings at Paul Botner. And every time I used to go and buy things at Botner, we would speak, because I had also my 2-piece at that time, where we used backtracks and stuff. But to his, especially his beautiful wife and his children, I'm talking about his family now, and to his close friends and neighbors up in the USA, I would like to just convey my utmost condolences. And I know what they're going through, and I hope that God is with them and stays with them throughout with the passing of our brother. I could feel his pain because I'm also a multiple sclerosis sufferer. But of course, multiple sclerosis is not as bad as ALS. So to all the people there and to everybody that's involved, that was involved with Barry, I wish you just God's grace and God's mercy and blessings after his passing, and I hope that God will look after his family as they are now alone in the States. Love to you all from myself and my family, my wife, and that's all I can say.
Barry was when he was busy with a friend of mine, Melvin Bathurst, with a musical at the Brethren Church, and so they asked me to come and join the group. Melvin was putting this production together, and so that's the time when I met Barry, and we immediately became very good friends, because just the type of person that Barry is. He's a very friendly person, was always smiling, and I immediately loved the way he played the keyboards. And so at that time, I was playing for a band called Soul Seekers, and then so I was playing with Keith Rose and Alan Rose and Brennan Rose at the time. But then I started a band called Choice, and then Paul Adams came to join me, who many people know him as Study. He came to join the band, and then Edwina George came, and Marcus September. And then we had Randall McKay on drums, because I didn't know drummers, so Barry brought Randall McKay, and that's how he got on board. And so the band Choice started. And then we were in my house, and this was playing. And there are times when that was basically the type of music the band would like to do, gospel jazz. And that is where Barry was really, exposing the gift that God has given him. And today I want to just thank God for Barry, for being such a blessing to the body of Christ, because I believe every place we went, and he helped many churches, and he's been a real great influence in the music industry, and also not just that, he was a very good programmer. I mean, that time we had the DX7, and I mean, if you had a DX7, you had like a nice keyboard. But Barry would take a DX7 and he would program or reprogram those sounds that it sounds like you got like a 100,000 in keyboard. That is just the ability that God is blessing with. And
Hi, my name is Craig Null. I'm in Barry Stoffberg at Westridge Baptist Church, which was playing in the 80s, where he and his brother Angelo both played keyboards, and they both played in the church band as well as obviously they were part of the youth. As talented as he was then, he was misunderstood, especially as a musician that played religious music and secular. And what stood out for me even then, at that early age, is that Barry kind of became the trailblazer to prove that you can be a professional musician playing and holding the craft in the secular environment and still be Christian. Over the years, then he moved on and always went in for technical advice. He worked at a music store. But what stood out again was his humility. I was always running into him at gigs at West End or Galaxy, Orbis, or wherever. He would find himself in Cape Town, he'd always be in the background until it's his turn to play, or if he's just supporting the band. You would just sit and literally be in awe of the musicians, and always keeping that level of humility, even though he was exceptionally talented. In the later years, when he was settled in USA, and he'd often visit and reach out to me, and I'd run into him, and I think a few years ago we met at a club in R3 where again it was kind of an open mic setup, and Barry was purely just hanging out in the background, minding his own business, just taking it in. And I think that always stands out where, again, he had a lot to offer, but he remained humble and he just sat in the background, taking it in. And when people do engage with him, he would share. But it was just, for me, that was quite unique about Barry.
Something about my experience with him, and I think to me Barry represents one of the foundations of my musical development and my journey in music. I wrote all my very first songs, Barry interpreted into music for me, and that time my musical ability was not that expanded, if I would use that word. Obviously I had still so much to learn.
Hi, this is Israel. This is Israel Hilton, and you're listening to CCFM 107.5.
What's that?
Hi, this is Israel. This is Israel Hilton.
Album Journey. Okay, so we had Sammy Weber, who's in version of Paul Adams, Glenn Robertson, Craig Nell, Edwina George, and Philip Carlson. So yeah, a big thank you to Mr. Alawaipol for arranging all of this. To Barry's family in the States and
you're satisfied, famous.
Our condolences here at CCFM. Yeah, God bless you. He's really touched the hearts of many musicians in South Africa and abroad. Thank you so much for tuning in. This next track that I'm going to play is by Albert Shoulder called Remembrance. So please do enjoy this next track.